this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been killing all week. He's from London, England, and he's here for you guys tonight. Please welcome to the stage, James Mullinger, everybody.
Hello! 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 Edmonton! We're living the fucking dream! Edmonton! It's my first time here! It's awesome! I have one question though. Why is the airport so fucking far away? Why is the airport in a different province? Why does it cost $50,000 to get from Edmonton Airport to Edmonton? But apart from that, it's genuinely delightful to be here. I have indeed come all the way from London, England. Anyone been to London? Fucking hell, it's not that good there. Jesus Christ, I left. I moved to Canada. I genuinely moved to Canada. I left London about a month ago and moved to a very happening part of Canada, a very exciting part of Canada. It's rather like London. You might have heard of it. It's called New Brunswick. Oh, New Brunswick man in the house. Where are you from?
I've just got our family there.
You've got family there. You look fucking ashamed of that fact right now. Singled you out. He clapped. He was like, shit, I've just admitted to being a paedophile. You looked absolutely over the nut. New Brunswickers here. Whereabouts are you from?
Moncton.
London? Moncton, right, I was going to say, fucking hell, Moncton, welcome. I did a gig there last week. It's very nice, no one else gives a fuck. It's genuinely lovely to meet you, though. Hello, mate, what is your name, by the way?
Justin.
Justin, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Didn't really want to touch my hand here, did you, Justin? He touched my hand rather like the Queen might touch a hobo's cock. I have seen her do that. I've been to Buckingham Palace. I have seen her do that, and it is with some reticence. It's genuinely nice to be here. It's an awesome place you live in. I love this mall. I love the fact that you don't need to leave the mall. You can actually live in the mall, right? That's what we all do, right? It's very exciting. I love it. I did move to Canada for a woman, I should tell you. I say a woman, she's my wife. And it's like, genuinely, you know, I moved to Canada for a woman. I thought it's the right thing to do. But don't worry, ladies, I am married. But this ring does come off. Hopefully inside one of you. Sorry, did I actually say that out loud? I do apologise. I'm really not that kind of boy. I'm a bit of a romantic, really. I'm very romantic. I would always come round in the morning to fish it out. You are getting married, is that true, madam? You are getting married? Congratulations, that is absolutely wonderful. Is your husband to be on a stag do right now, on a bachelor party? No, he's not. He's not allowed to have one?
Yes.
Oh, sorry?
We have a kid, he's at home with the kid.
Oh, he's at home with the kid, fantastic. Oh, well, you'll be pleased to know. I haven't slept in... How long ago did you have the kid? 2.5 years? Oh, right, that's good. I had my second child 6 weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. Yes! That's why I moved to Canada. It's nice to be back. Can I ask, did you find out the sex of your child in advance? You did. See, I wish we had. My wife said to me, let's not find out the sex in advance. It'll be a nice surprise on the day. I've now witnessed 2 births. There's enough fucking surprises on the day. You don't need any more. We had lots of surprises. I mean, my first surprise of the day was, you know, just a simple one, because I'd actually never seen my wife inside out before. That was a surprise. Also was a surprise, halfway through the birth, she sprung it on me that it would be a nice idea if I cut the umbilical cord. Has anybody else done that? I didn't mind doing it, but the doctor handed me the scissors, walked straight out the room. I said, hang on a minute, mate. This is the worst time in history for a job swap. I'm not going to start hacking at will. It could be the world's worst circumcision. And of course, when you don't know the sex, you have to pick two names, and it's difficult picking one name. I mean, I bet you just, everything's perfect for you. Look at you, isn't it? I bet you found it easy to pick the names. No, you didn't, or you found it hard too. Because we were told by people, don't tell anyone the name in advance, in case they react a certain way. Have you heard this? Yeah, and it is a good idea, but it was my wife's sister that told us this. She had good reason for it, because my wife's sister's dream from when she was a little girl was to call her firstborn daughter Ophelia. Do you think Ophelia's a nice name? Oh, you are not the right people to tell, clearly. Right. Well, she kept it secret her entire life, didn't tell anyone, finally got pregnant, found out she was having a beautiful baby girl. She was over the moon. Her dream would come true. But 2 weeks before this beautiful baby girl was due to be born, she went into the office to pick up some stuff, bumped into a male work colleague, and she said, I haven't told anyone this, but I'm going to tell you, because I'm feeling very emotional. Do you remember that moment? It was so emotional. So emotional. You could do person to die. I'm feeling so emotional. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to call this beautiful baby girl Ophelia. And I swear to God, he turns to her and says, you can't call her that! And she goes, why not? It's my dream since I was this high. And he says, Ophelia tits, Ophelia bum. Show's over there, isn't it? There's no way in hell she could go and call this beautiful baby girl Ophelia now. Every time she looked in that cot, she'd think of this disgusting man going, Ophelia tits, Ophelia bum! 2 weeks! Just 2 weeks she had to come up with a new name. I mean, she's 5 now, and I'm pleased to report little Fister is doing fantastic. Yes, Fister, yes, repeat it to each other, yes. And I worry, we'd call our children Hunter and River. I'm sure some of you might take the piss. We thought they were nice names, Hunter and River. And I do worry, though, about them being bullied for their names. We thought they were cool names. We thought Hunter S. Thompson, Hunter Davies. But I was quite badly bullied at school, so I know how clever kids can be with names. Like, they take a name and they... Like, what was your name again, mate?
Justin.
Justin, right? So Justin, right, if he's in the playground, all these clever kids could kind of do these clever things, like they could go, Justin, the dick. Geniuses, these kids. The minds, they just work like masters. What's your name, sir? Chad's got a tiny cock. Smart! The girl next to him is actually nodding, so I'm some kind of psychic up here, ladies and gents. There's some men there going, fucking hell, don't! And kids can be smart like that, can't they? I mean, I don't mind admitting it. I was being very badly bullied at my junior school when I was, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I was being bullied at the school where I lived with my parents. So I went to my parents every night and so I'm being picked on. Well, just before I do this, can I just check, how many people in this room were bullied at school? 2 people and a room full of fucking bullies. Fantastic. I look forward to all of you beating the shit out of me later. Fantastic, just me. Well, I mean, I'm going to share this anyway. I was being very, very badly bullied, and I would say to my parents I'm being picked on, and they come up with a solution that to this day I have never understood. And tell me if you can help me with this. What they decided to do to help me with this bullying that I was getting at my local school was they remortgaged the house, borrowed money from everyone they knew, and sent me off to an English boarding school. I can't quite understand this thought process. It seems to be something on the lines of, seems a shame they only get to beat the shit out of him for 6 hours a day. Let's send him somewhere they can do him 24/7 for 7 years. And do me they did. I mean, I don't mind sharing this with you. I was actually beaten up every day for 7 years for being gay, despite not actually being gay. Are you aware of this phenomenon sweeping the nation, whereby if you cannot find an actual gay in a school, you just find someone that ticks all the boxes of a gay? And I want to offer some advice. If this ever does happen to anyone you know or any of you, don't do what I did, because the bullies had little favourite tricks. They would do things like, they'd all be in their little underpants in the shower, okay, and they would wait in the changing room until I was completely naked, push me into a cubicle, and all start giving me Chinese burns and pinching me. Now, word of advice, this. Don't do what I did in that situation and get a boner. It does not quell the rumours one iota. This is fun, ladies and gentlemen, also quite cathartic for me. Cheers, everyone, cheers. Thank you for having me in your beautiful place of life. It's genuinely nice to be in Canada. I love it. I moved to Canada because I like being in a country with 4 seasons. You know, I know it gets cold in winter and you'll moan about it. It's all, oh, taxes are high, weather's bad, all that. You know, I don't mind that. But in London, it's just grey all the time. So that's why I've come here. This isn't stand-up, I'm just chatting now. I tell you something else, though. I'm not going to bang on about my kids all night because I know kids are a bit like farts. You only like your own. I won't say this, but Madam, when you had your child, did you go to any of those prenatal classes? No, you didn't. Very wise, right? Has anyone done prenatal classes? You did. Did you find them useful? They're scary. They're scary. They are scary, but they don't teach you what you need to know. I've got 2 boys. I've attended prenatal classes twice, so that's like 4 days of learning. Okay. Now, when you've got a young boy, are you pregnant, Madam?
I am.
Are you? Fuck me. That would have been bad if you weren't. Oh, can you imagine? We all of us just had to have gone straight home with our heads in our hands. I took a fucking gamble there, didn't I, sir? Jesus Christ. As soon as I said it, I thought, Jesus Christ, it's quite bright up here as well. And for all I know, it could have been a man as well, it could have been terrible. Madam, what's your name, Madam? Veronica, don't laugh too hard, because I've done the course, but I can't deliver. How long have you got to go?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, amazing, and she's out living the dream! Jaeger bombs, all that! Oh, no. Welcome, congratulations, that really, and do you know what sex it's going to be?
No.
No, fantastic. Well, if it's a boy, here's some advice for you. Because you've done the prenatal classes? Yep, literally, right? You go into this class, the woman's all patronising. Now, all I needed to know was a very simple thing. 2 boys, you need to know one thing in the first few weeks of having a baby boy. You need to know a quick, safe, and easy way of cleaning shit off testicles. That's all you need to know. Right? Yeah, right? Who's with me? Yes? Right? What are you saying? He already had some practice at it? No, but it's true, isn't it? And instead they don't teach you that. Although I did mention this at a gig in Birmingham, which is near London in England, right? And a woman in the audience shouted out, she goes, oh, there is a way of practicing this, right? What you do is you get the guy to put jam on a tea bag and try and clean the jam off the tea bag without breaking the tea bag. It's not funny, just informative. So I thought I was going to learn useful shit like this, right? But instead, I turn up, and you can tell me what you think of this, madam. I walk in, and the teacher goes, now, does anybody know what you should do if the baby's 2 weeks overdue, what you should do to bring on the labour a bit quicker? You always know the answers to this, don't you? It's spicy food and sex, which kind of, unfortunately, proves that we live in a male-driven society, that curry and fucking are the solution to this problem. But because I'm a bit of a feminist, I've read all the books and everything, right? And I've done my research, so I knew this. And she asked the question, I put my hand and said sex, and she turns to me all patronising in front of all of these people that we're going to be friends with forever, right? And she, because that's unfortunately what happens. And she goes, he's absolutely right, sex will bring on the labour quicker. And I swear to God, this is word for word what she said. But I want you all to remember that the man, because he's a man, he's going to be in the mood. But the woman's been carrying around this baby for 9.5 long months. She's achy, she's painy, she's tired. She might not be in the mood. This is word for word. So please, please, please remember, it's got to be consensual. What kind of world are we living in? I mean, I'm not a clever man, but I try and read the papers. But did I miss the story about the spate of men sexually assaulting their wives? And going, I'm dreadfully sorry, officer. I was just trying to get the bloody baby out. I mentioned how excited I was to be. I travel around a lot doing this job, and often you arrive in places that you don't know, and you don't know people, and you have to do some research. So what I tend to do is go on a website called TripAdvisor. Does anyone know TripAdvisor? Yes, yeah. Some TripAdvisor fans. Do you write the reviews or do you read them? Oh, I've just heard of the website. Fantastic. It's captured. Yeah, basically, for those of you who don't know, TripAdvisor, you go on and you write reviews of places you've been, and it forms like a top 100 or top 1,000 of places to go. So I did it for Edmonton, and I want you to verify for me if these are the right things. Can you do that for me, Edmonton? Right. The number one most best place to go in Edmonton is apparently the Winspear Centre. Is that true? There you fucking go. What a fantastic start. Right? And I will read this to you, right? This is why you should not go on TripAdvisor, okay? The fourth best attraction in all of Edmonton is the Fort Edmonton Park. Is that good? A few fans. A few fans. Maybe people that live in the park. And there's a few 5-star reviews on here, which is right, but some idiot, okay, from Calgary has... Wait for it, has given it a 1-star review and said this, okay? You can't give it a park a 1-star review, can you? Right, anyway, here, 1-star review, had heard wonderful things about Fort Edmonton Park, but when I arrived, it was raining. It's not Weather Advisor, you prick! Fuck off back to Calgary! There's more. Oh, this is Stuart from Toronto visited the Tell Us World of Science. Is that good? Oh yes, some fans of that. Sounds wonderful. You just clap everything, mate. But carry on, that's lovely. Okay? The Tell Us World of Science. Stuart from Toronto said, disappointing. Okay? I arrived here expecting a fun day out, but there is nothing to do here if you don't like science. Shit! I mean, no wonder everywhere I go, everywhere in the world is terrible because I trust this website. Okay, of 1,600 restaurants that have been reviewed in Edmonton, the number one best restaurant in all of Edmonton is the Continental Treat Fine Bistro. 3 people that work there and a room full of people that have never heard of it. But maybe it does sound good, I might check it out. But you'll be surprised by this. Of these 1,600 restaurants, there is actually one that appears at number 56 on the list. That's quite high. You think that sounds quite good. You might have heard of it. It's filed under Italian cuisine. It's called Pizza Hut. Now, the first review for Pizza Hut is quite a positive one. The subject line is, I like the hut as much as the next man, right? I wouldn't go this far. This is what this bloke said, okay? His review starts, his subject line is, amazing! Best restaurant ever. Love the meat feast, and they eat as much as you can for $6. Fair enough, okay? But he's given it 3 stars. And like you, I was wondering, that sounds like a 4-star review to me, not a 3-star review. He does explain that. Loses a star because I ate too much. You've mistaken it for willpower advice, haven't you, sir? But this is the final one I've been to. This is the one I really couldn't believe. It was Stacey from Newfoundland. I don't know if she travelled here just for the hut. She might have been confused that there might be a few on the way. I don't know. Stacey from Newfoundland visited. Her subject line for Pizza Hut in Edmonton was terrible. 1 star. What could possibly have gone wrong? Was there a pube on the meat feast? I'll read on. I was very disappointed when I came here for my 25th wedding anniversary. Now I would like to tell you, lovely people in Edmonton, that is the end of the sentence. It ain't. That wasn't Stacey's problem. Stacey's problem was this. I was very disappointed when I visited for my 25th wedding anniversary, only to discover that all they serve is pizza. Don't TripAdvisor it, ladies and gents. It's a waste of time. Will you help me with that? Would anyone like any advice on London at all? When I used to come to Canada all the time, I used to come here twice a year. People would always say to me, "Oh, have you met Prince William? Have you met Prince William?" I used to think, how ridiculous. Of course I haven't met Prince William. Now I have actually met Prince William about 8 months ago. Any questions you'd like to know? I will tell you this. He is actually more bald in real life than he looks on TV, unfortunately. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being bald, obviously, but he is more bald. And it's quite a shame, you know, that he's got this kind of very, very bald head like his dad, Prince Charles, and Prince Harry has this full head of ginger hair like his dad, James Hewitt. That's right, I said it. That's right. Madam, what was your name again? Lovely bride to be. Sorry? Taylor, what a lovely name. That was on my list if I got a girl, but unfortunately I got 2 boys. It's a lovely name. Can I ask, do you know what your husband-to-be is going to do on his bachelor party yet?
He's gonna dress in a hot dog. Bring a hot dog suit.
He's going to dress in a hot dog suit. Wow, that motherfucker knows how to have fun. No, I'm not taking the piss. I mean, I just wanted to offer you some advice because I got married 7 years ago, and if I could change one thing about my bachelor party was, before I got married, I said to my fellow bachelors, I said, I do not want strippers there. I'm a bit of a feminist, and I don't think it's right that they should be there. However, all of my friends said, hang on a minute, we're paying for this shit. We want strippers there. Oh, and she's saying you have to have strippers. Okay. Maybe I should have married you. And when I said I'm a bit of a feminist, I said no strippers. What I mean is, my wife said you're not having any strippers. Anyway, my fellow bachelors decided to book them anyway. So what happened was, 2 strippers were booked at the last minute to come to the house we were at and perform a show. Now, I don't mind admitting this to you guys, right? But all the usual things happened. I was stripped naked, covered in cream, whipped and beaten with a dildo. I mean, just Monday night round your house, I imagine, mate. You know. The norm. However, that didn't bother me at all. What bothered me was the culmination to the show that will stick with me till the day I die. And I wouldn't normally share this with people, but you're here and you're very lovely, so I will. The culmination to the show is this. One of the strippers pulled out of her bag a toothbrush. First thing she did was shove this toothbrush up my arse. Second thing she did with that toothbrush is brush my teeth with it. That's pretty traumatic, right? No one, I think it's fair to say, no one in this room wants a toothbrush that's been up their bottom in their mouth. However, it was only about 3 or 4 days later that it dawned on me that a $50 stripper, hired at the last minute, there's no way in hell that was the first time she'd done that trick with that toothbrush. So genuinely traumatised was I by this, that on my wedding day, when the priest said, does anybody know, of good reason, why these 2 should not be wed, I would turn around and go, me! I've got a reason! I've rimmed 10,000 men! But I didn't say that, just in case my wife said, that's okay, so have I! Ladies and gentlemen, you've been absolutely fantastic. I've been James Mullinger. You've got a truly incredible headliner coming up. Thank you very much for having me. I'm James Mullinger. Good night. Cheers.